So what animal should we, on the farm, should we milk next?
A pig.
You've milked a pig?
Oh, not a live one.
How about a cat?
Cat? No. Into a little saucer.
I had no idea you could milk a cat.
Oh yeah, you can milk anything with nipples.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Hey guys, it's Kelsey here from Sweet Briar Farm. Maylee's gonna be joining me soon. We're having a little bit of a milk off tonight. So I'm gonna milk my favorite goat, Fawn. She's a purebred Nubian. And Maylee is gonna milk her favorite goat, Starla, who is a mini Nubian. And we're gonna show you guys kind of, well, first of all, how we milk them, but also how pigs are getting worked up. Are you done, girls? We're gonna kind of compare how the two breeds are conformed and what makes each of ours our favorite. So I'll bring Fawn out first. Fawn has a lot more experience being milked, especially by hand. Starla's not as experienced and hasn't been milked yet since she kidded this year. So her manners on the milk stand will be very different from Fawn's, and that's more to do with their experience than anything with the breed. But it'll be fun to see how they do. So we're gonna put the milk in 2 different containers and compare the volumes we get. Fawn has, she had triplets this year, so she has so much milk. And I was milking her twice a day, and I recently cut her back to once a day. So her udder is very full. Starla had twins this year. We just pulled her second twin off, so she is also very full tonight. So this is kind of like the best looking their udders get. As they go through their lactations, milk production peaks around 2 months, which is right about where we are right now, right, May? And then it'll slowly taper off over the rest of the year after that. So this is a good night for us to kind of showcase our favorite girls at their best. So we'll bring the does in and you guys can see how it goes. Thanks. This is Fawn. She's a purebred registered Nubian, and she has milk stars in her pedigree. So her ancestors have demonstrated that they're really good milkers. And I just want to take some measurements so we can compare Fawn to Starla, who's a mini Nubian. So her udder at its widest point is about 7.5 inches, and she's like at her deepest part maybe 8.5 inches. And what I love most about Fawn are her amazing teats. So her teats are probably 3 inches long. At the top, her teats are about 1.5 or 2 inches wide there. And something else, I don't have a great way to measure, but I think it makes a huge difference in how easy Fawn is to milk. Apart from having nice big teats you can actually wrap your hands around, she's also got really big openings at the bottom of her teats for the milk to come out of, the orifice. And that means that she gets more milk out with each squirt than a goat with smaller orifices like Starla. So one way you can tell the orifices are larger is how thick the stream of milk is coming out, like how wide it is.
She has a lot of milk coming out with each squirt.
Good girl, Fawn. So here's Fawn's milk. She did. So that froth is because the milk comes out so fast. It makes a froth. Starla, she's a first generation mini Nubian, which means her mom is a registered Nubian and her dad is a registered mini Nubian buck. She's an excellent little dairy goat, but she's built differently than Fawn, our purebred Nubian. You'll notice Starla's smaller. She's a little bit shorter and more petite. Now, since she's a first generation cross, Starla's about 80% Nubian and 20% Nigerian Dwarf. And I think her udder is shaped more like a Nigerian Dwarf udder. It's a little bit more like smaller and round. But we'll get some numbers. Okay. So her udder is about maybe 6 inches at its widest point across. And at its deepest, I'd say it's about 7.5. Her teats are good sized. You can hand milk her. But she's probably about 2 inches long and maybe just an inch wide. So you're not going to get as much milk out of each squirt from a smaller teat. And you're not going to get as much milk out of a smaller udder, or at least that's the idea. So let's milk her out and measure to see if that's actually the case.
It is possible.
Starla here's not as experienced being hand milked as Fawn because she's the easiest, so I always choose to hand milk her when I can. Starla has done a good job, but you can see her teats are flaccid. We've gotten everything there is out that she's willing to give tonight.
She's holding it back.
But her udder is still quite full and hard. So mama does can hold back milk for their babies. And massaging the udder helps to let it down, which we tried. Being comfortable on the milk stand makes a difference. So the more we would practice with Starla, the more milk she'd actually give. We milked her 2 nights ago and got half a gallon.
Yeah, half a gallon.
And she didn't hold anything back that night, so we'll see how she does tonight. All right, well, let's take the milk in the house and measure it. The smell of milk must have made some people very hungry. So this is Fawn's milk from just one milking a day. So that's half a gallon. And then these 2 are quart jars. I don't know how many we'll need. So Fawn milking once a day has given us, say, 3.5 quarts of milk. So just shy of a gallon and just one milking. She's a rock star. All right, so let's see how much milk Starly gave us tonight. Good. So Fawn's been giving us just under a gallon of milk a night, and I'm only milking the goats once a day. Today, Starla gave us about 1 quart. This is a half gallon jar, and she about filled it halfway. But let's show you what she gave us last night when she didn't hold milk back. She did better, right, May?
Yeah.
So last night, Starla gave us a full half gallon of milk. I don't know if she was camera shy tonight or what. It is very hot today, and it wasn't super hot yesterday, so maybe that factors into it. I don't know. A half gallon in a single milking is really good. Tonight she didn't quite live up to her potential, but that's okay.
She held it back.
So there's some benefits to raising Mini Nubians and purebred Nubians. They're both great goats. If I had to choose, and I do, which goats I'm actually going to take the time to milk, then Fawn's my first choice because she's fast and easy to milk, and she gives me a lot of milk in a very short amount of time. And it's really good milk. I can use it in the kitchen. We use it, like for drinking and on cereal. I also use it to make cheeses, and those turn out really well. I've made Chev and Queso Blanco. Mostly those 2 are our go-tos. Yogurt, it's all really good with the Nubian milk. Mini Nubian milk is good for all the same stuff. Oh, soaps too. I make soap with the Nubian milk and the Mini Nubian milk. And it's really good milk. So it kind of becomes a question of how much milk do you want to deal with and how big of a goat do you want to feed and house and handle. So those are all personal preference things. They're both great goats. I love my Fawn. Maylee loves her Starla. And we're fortunate we can keep both breeds. So they have it kind of a comparison between the 2. Our purebred Nubian is easier and faster to milk, and I get more milk out of her. But not everybody wants almost a gallon of milk a day. And if I milked her twice a day, which I was for a while, she was giving me a gallon and a half. not everybody wants that much milk a day, and that's okay. So things to think about. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Sweet Briar Farm.